I miss you.
I miss you.
Katy Vernon. Katy, can I sing the theme song at your face?
I want you to do it. Give it to me. There's
Hey,
nothing more awkward.
I, right, miss you. And I hope you're doing well. I miss you and hearing your music IRL. So I am thinking that you sing me a song or two while I'll just sit here in my bathroom saying, hey, I miss you.
Love it. Beautifully done.
Thank you. It's Katy Vernon, everybody. It's so good to see your face.
So good to see yours in your green bathroom, which is legendary.
It's a legendary bathroom in its own mind, I think. Yes, I'm in my green bathroom. You've been here. Can I show you something fun?
Yes.
That's the first time.
That is such a
We're,
flashback.
look at that. That was
Yeah.
February 13th of 2017.
That's before
That's
I
the
was
first
natural
time.
blonde. That's so strange.
And then there's this one. I'm wearing the same
Yeah.
shirt.
I love that. That was a fun one. I loved singing that Blondie song. That was
That
fun.
one has like over 2,000 views. So
It
the
does.
people have spoken on that
I love
one.
it. That's great.
High fives. High fives. So I'm in my green bathroom in Shoreview, Minnesota. Nobody should come find me. I just said that.
Yeah.
Katy Vernon, where are you right now?
I am in a room that we call the Fred room. In our house, we call it the Fred room because we decided it was the family red room. So we call it the Fred room. But it's never used by the family. It has become my room. It's full of ukuleles, as you can see. Even the
Yeah,
ukuleles that I bought my kids thinking they would play, they don't play. They don't
for
care.
sure. For sure
Um,
they don't.
and I am in White Bear, Minnesota. So I'm not that far away from you, as you know.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
You are one of the closer musicians. Like,
Yeah.
if anyone's watching not from the Twin Cities, like, I feel like most of the musicians live like probably 15 to 20 minutes south of our parallel. But you and I,
Yes.
we're kind of in a
Well,
line.
it's funny. I had someone say to me once, "Can you drop something off at my house on your way home?" Which I was happy to do, but they said, "I presume you live in Northeast Minneapolis because that's where all the musicians live." It's funny. You would presume that because I don't, but I did. For 10 years I lived in Northeast Minneapolis, so they
I
were
was
not
born
far.
there.
Were you? Oh,
Yeah.
a lovely place.
It is a lovely place. How are you right now? If I'm going to snap a Polaroid and you're going to tell me that second, boom.
Right now, I am just coming out of having had COVID for 2.5 weeks. So I feel pretty good right now. This is the first time my face has had makeup on it since December 21st. I know the exact date. So that's the last time
Oh.
I sang. So yeah, I'm doing okay. It's been rough. I've been boosted, but yeah, when people say mild, it's like mild flu plus bronchitis. So my experience was pretty bad, but I'm definitely
Oh.
better and grateful that it wasn't worse. So
I'm
mask up,
glad.
folks. I was
Yes, yes,
masked,
yes.
still got it anyway. So I'm good,
Yeah, I
grateful.
get that. Speaking of masks, you did make some really beautiful masks once
I
upon a
did.
time.
I made lots and lots. In fact, I have
Yeah.
some in here. Yeah, I made lots and lots of sparkly masks because when we first shut down the music industry, I thought we'll do a few gigs, but we'll have to make them sparkle, and then those gigs
Yeah.
cancelled too. But
Yeah.
people were very nice and supportive, and actually, I sold a lot of those masks.
Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you will sing us a song and tell us why you chose that song.
Yeah, this is a song you've actually heard before. I still consider it somewhat new because it hasn't been recorded yet. And it just feels very appropriate. So this is a song called The End of the World. I wrote it almost 2 years ago when COVID first kind of peeked its ugly little head out of the whatever, the molehill. I don't even know what I'm saying.
It's a prairie dog.
It poked its head up. And we tried to bash it down like whack-a-mole, but it keeps popping up in different variants. So this is a song that is all about missing hugs and connections. So I thought it would suit this. So here we go.
Perfect.
Oh, and you know
Katy
what?
Vernon.
Also, personal note, I always kind of hear your voice on this. It's a little bit country, and so in my mind, it's a bit of a Sarah Morris song. So
I do love this song.
I always cover it.
Okay. Okay.
All right, here we go. I just want to be near you. I want to hold your hand. Wish I could ease the fear in you. You know I understand. It's gonna be a long, hard wait. None of us know how to pass the time. If I could choose a partner for the end of the world, you know I hope God you'd be mine. I might use today to write a letter, saying all the things I never shared. Someday soon when all of this is better, you'll still have my words to show I care. It's gonna be a long, hard wait. None of us know how to pass the time. If I could choose a partner for the end of the world, you know I hope to God you'd be mine. Take a walk, write a song. We can still talk all night long. Read those books just sitting on your shelf. Just please promise me to look after yourself. It's gonna be a long, hard wait. None of us know how to pass the time. If I can choose a partner for the end of the world, you know I hope to God you'd be mine. It's gonna be a long, hard wait. None of us know how to pass the time. If I can choose a partner for the end of the world, you know I hope to God you'd be mine. You know I hope to God you'd be mine. And I just believe in God if you were mine.
Katy, you sang that in my backyard.
It's funny singing it to your face. Yes, I know. I was thinking we did you measured the 6 feet apart. And
Sure
we did
did.
that. Yeah, it's a bit of an old at this point, but we're still living in it. So there you go. Yeah.
Thank you so much for singing that, and I love to sing that. I'm going to tell everybody this is Hey, I Miss You, and you brought up a good point why I invented this show. So here I am in my bathroom where we used to do toilet tunes, and then COVID came around and it made it feel, I mean, you can't be apart in this bathroom. It's big, but not that big. And as time went on and we were doing all these live streams and singing to our own faces, I got really tired of singing to my face. And I thought, I bet my friends are tired of singing to their face. What if they would sing at my face? And people said yes, and Hey, I Miss You was born. And so, Katy Vernon, that's why you're singing at my face today.
Love it. Well, you're so good at making things happen. Toilet tunes, you know, I'm sure was just a funny little idea you had, and people just loved it and volunteered to be on it, you know, and it just grew, and it's relatable, and it's just, you know, it's just real and friendly. And I think you do a lot to grow community and connect people, because this is a very competitive business. You know, it's a popularity contest. And I think we all get caught up in feeling like we all need to have a piece of the pie, and you welcome people in and make fun events happen. So this is just a continuation of the lovely things you do. So.
Thank you. I feel the same about you. I mean, exactly. And I want to thank you for all that you do to bring us all together in the Minneapolis St. Paul music scene. And I also know that you do that in other forums as well, but we'll get to some of that. You said pie, and now I want to know, do you have a favorite pie?
Yeah, you know, cherry pie. I love a good cherry pie. I love fruit pies in general. I do love rhubarb. Rhubarb and strawberry. That would be up there as well. Not a fan of any kind of chocolatey silk pies. I don't like
Down with the silk. Okay, well, thank you. I've never asked that question before, but you said it, and I was like, that's a good question. Okay, that could be the answer to this next question, but I know it's not. So here's what I'm going to say. Will you tell me something good?
I love
Tell me, Katie.
That's not an easy song to sing. I love that you've committed to that. Yes, so if I tell you something good, I thought, oh, I'm too like just overwhelmed and depressed with the world and my career. And then I thought, wait a second, there's something good that's come out of this year. I counted how many little mice I have sewn this year because I started a new project. And the genesis of the project was this guy. So
Aww.
this is obviously a cat, if you can't tell. And so this was a very ugly bag. If you can imagine, this was a bag that I saw, a handmade bag that was at an Ark Value Village, and it had been obviously made by someone and then just donated. And I looked at the fabric, and it reminded me, this can be a Googling exercise later for our viewers, of a little 1970s cartoon, not cartoon, but stop motion that I grew up with.
Okay.
Bagpuss. And Bagpuss is a show about a cat made out of an old cloth bag who looks exactly like this. Not exactly, but pretty much. And he lives in this little shop. And then the little girl who owns the shop finds broken, neglected things and brings them to the shop. And overnight, they get fixed by a team of little mice that look a bit like these. So I made the bag into a cat because it just seemed like he needed a new life. And then I made little mice friends to help him. And then I got really obsessed, and I started making them in little outfits that looked like, maybe famous people that I would enjoy.
Little Dorothy.
And this is yesterday's. I just Tin Man to go with Dorothy. And then this is one in progress. This is going to be the Scarecrow. So he's in progress, obviously. And I've just made so many. I kind of went nuts with it. Here's Wonder Woman. She just got today. Here is Breakfast at Tiffany's. Audrey Hepburn. And there's many. So this is one of my favorites because she has a ukulele.
Right.
Marilyn Monroe from Some Like It Hot. I want to be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. That one. And I have made, let's see if we can get a closer look here to some of them. I have made 112 of these mice.
My goodness.
Here's Abba. So these are the Abba mice there.
Yeah.
And one of the fun things about those mice is that I made the mice, and then I decided that this mouse was so fabulous, I needed to also have that same outfit for myself. So the mouse came first, and then I made myself the same outfit, and did actually wear it for a show. Abba-Cover-Band. Here's another Marilyn.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at working the camera here.
I think you're doing a beautiful job. I think it's stunning.
There's many, many, many mice. I made the Spice Girls, which I know you have a soft spot for the Spice Girls.
I sure do.
Being a girl of a certain age. So these are the Spice Girls, but now that I've started adding hair to them, they're very incomplete. So that'll be another project. I will add hair. When I first started making them, I didn't want to take away too much of the mouse-ness.
Yeah. Okay.
Mice don't have hairdos, so I didn't give them any. But the more I made, the more I realized, hair is so iconic for so many people. Yourself included.
That's true. That is a true thing.
Yeah, and then I entered actually a few into the state fair. So I'll show you. They didn't win anything, but they got some nice feedback. I made the Schitt's Creek family. And they were called Squeaks Creek. And here they are.
Oh, they're so cute.
And they got some nice feedback, but they didn't win any prizes. But I'm thinking that I'm going to, make the whole Wizard of Oz foursome and
I
maybe
love it.
have an affair. So it's become
Yeah.
a very strange hobby. People ask me, kind of where it came from, and it just came from, I think, this strange time that we're in, where I was working remotely. I'm a switchboard operator and an office coordinator for a big medical company. That's my new job that I got just after the pandemic started, and I worked remote for a few months doing that. Now I'm in the office every day, but I needed something to do with my hands, and playing music was such a different part of my brain. I couldn't kind of just strum along and then put that on hold and take phone calls, whereas doing something with my hands seemed to work. So yeah, it's fun.
You're a maker in so many ways. I mean, you always have like the coolest merch setup. This is a Katy Vernon
I love that.
piece.
Yeah, isn't that
I
beautiful?
know it is
I
beautiful. I know
love
your
that.
daughters are makers also. I mean,
Yeah,
it's what's going on in your home.
it is, and the mice are made out of scraps of fabric. This little guy was made from a little donated teddy bear in a spaceman outfit. So this is the space
That's
outfit.
amazing.
So it doesn't interest me to go to like Joanne Fabrics and buy stuff. This is all upcycled. And that's the challenge of it. Is like, what can I make from a scrap of material this big? I can make pants. And all the mice that I've ever made that wear jeans, they're literally the bottom of my jeans that I've cut off, and then
I've got that stuff for you if you need some more.
Yeah, and Steve Yeager is a musician in town who I did a project with that we can discuss. But he had this huge collection of leftover materials from his late mother, who I guess owned some kind of sewing shop. And he very generously let me just dig through and take whatever I wanted. So I definitely can make mice for many years to come, I think. So, yeah. So it's all about
the mice have their own Instagram account. Is that true? So you can follow there.
Yeah, scrap.mice.
Okay. And I know you've done some custom work. I don't know if that's actually...
Mostly, yeah. I mean, these are just the ones I've kept, but I've made 112. I just counted them yesterday, so I could tell you, because I completely hadn't kept track.
They've all been homed.
And most of them are all commission pieces. So I've made people's wives, boyfriends, favorite musicians. I never knew how popular Jeff Tweedy as a mouse would be. I've made 3 Jeff Tweedy. Very bizarre to me, but apparently his fans feel a connection. And I made Cleopatra. I've made so many, which is fun. And then to see them, being given as gifts, I'm like, I have fluff on me. It's probably mouse fluff. To see them being gifted to people, and their reactions is really fun. So yeah, it's a weird new hobby, but I love it.
I love it too. Oh, thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, now is the part of the show where we're going to go, in case you missed it. Ooh. In case you missed it, this is Katy Vernon. Katy Vernon is, I don't know, I feel like you're such, to me, I'm going to say the word legend, even though that has like a lot of connotation, but like you just are someone, you're a big shiny light in town for bringing people together. You organize, you make in so many ways. And I just, you and I came up through town our second time is what I'm going to say at the same time. So like I first became aware of you in 2012 because we had the same producer of our 2012 albums.
Yes.
Kevin Steinman, shout out.
Love him.
Yours is called Before I Forget. And, but that was actually your second, like, dance as a musician in town, correct?
Yeah.
I've always really resonated with that story because it's a
absolutely.
pre-mom, a post-mom. Tell me a little bit.
Yeah, pre-mom, post-mom for sure. So throughout my 20s, I moved to the States when I was 21, grew up in London, England, but moved to the States and literally put up like I'm a singer in town sign on the Rainbow Foods bulletin board. And I got a couple of gigs doing that, which I just thought, this is easy. I'm going to conquer this town. And then I ended up through kind of a friend of a friend knew a British guy who needed a singer in his band. So of course they thought of me, but it did work out really well. And so I was in a band called the Camdens for most of the mid 90s, kind of late 90s to 2000. And we made a record called Halfway Around the World that came out in 2000. Yeah, we did pretty well. We played the Taste of Minnesota. We played some big stages. We played, sold out shows at the 400 Bar. And it was fun. We literally went through, I think, 8 drummers. It was like such rock and roll day. But the core of us, the 3 of us, stayed together. And I actually just this past summer did a 10-year reunion show with, it was 20 years reunion show. Oh my God. Yeah. 20 reunion show with Scott Walker, who's the other songwriter in the band. So it was my only experience being 2 songwriters in a band. I didn't play an instrument at that time. I played enough guitar that I could songwrite and kind of use the vocabulary of, what chords needed to be in a song. But I always was too shy to play an instrument and sing at the same time. It was just, this deal. I just couldn't do it. I was so nervous. And then when we broke up, I had kind of back-to-back babies. They were within 18 months of each other. And then I took 8 years off. And I sang backup here and there with some friends and kind of kept my eye on the music scene. But it wasn't until I was, till my kids were kind of able to, need me a little bit less, that I felt like I could actually get out. And it was through the Hootenannies, which I know obviously you've done. It was through doing Hootenannies and just only needing to show up and sing a couple of songs that soak in the atmosphere and kind of get the lay of the land and kind of get your foot back out there. And that was, as a person playing the guitar at first, and then I took up the ukulele around that time too. And then everything everything came together that I was finally kind of confident enough to sit there, solo on stage, and do that. And then, built up my gigs. And literally, it's been the last 10 years. I just got like a 10-year memory thing pop up on Facebook, which was a gig I did at the Driftwood. And that was my first gig that I was asked to open for someone. And I thought, well, I've got like 4 songs, so I don't know how that will go. And I forced myself, to kind of come up with, I think 8 songs. And I stood there terrified and did it. But, it was huge. So, yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about second time round, because, the second time round in my music career, I wasn't expecting to be discovered. I wasn't expecting anyone really to help me. I just knew that I had to do it for myself, and I had to find my own reasons for doing it. And for me, which I relate to you a lot, it's all about the songwriting. I want to write good songs. And then if they resonate with anyone else, that's a huge bonus. And then, like you said about, you very nicely said, things about me doing things in the community. But that's been huge for me because it makes it feel like less of a competition and more of a, let's all make fun things happen together. And because I've been on the other side of booking and like knocking down doors and feeling ignored, it's really nice to open those doors for other people and to very deliberately bring in more women, very young performers. I love giving a foot up, but I also really, especially because I'm getting older, feel it's so important to let people know that there's no expiration date. I think especially for women, you don't have to be up there and be some kind of, pretty pop star and this package deal. You need to just pursue your art and get yourself in front of people no matter what your age. And I'm really inspired by people that just continue to play, so that's what it's all about. And
Oh,
it's
you do such a no, you do such a beautiful job. I'll just say quickly that like this past summer you booked a series in a southwest suburb, and your booking of it was so intentional to, diversity in many ways, right? You just like you were tackling that in genre, you were tackling that in experienced performers plus new performers, you were attacking that in like gender and racial. You were very conscious in your booking so
yeah.
that the series had this holistic presence that was just really, really inspiring to watch. And so I want to give you a round of applause for
Thank you.
doing that, because we want to see that as much as possible in town. But the heart that you put into that was really apparent to someone who was just
Thank
hanging
you.
out on the side. So thank you.
Yeah,
You do write songs. Oh, sorry, go on.
no, I was just gonna say, I've seen people say like, oh well, we asked several women to play this show and they all were busy, and I'm like, well, you didn't ask me,
All of
And
them.
so if you keep getting no's, just keep asking, because there's so many people out there. I mean, you can always reach a little deeper, and I'm working on it myself. I'm in my own little box. I'm a
Me too. Yeah, it's
white
hard.
old lady living in the burbs, but we can all just try a little harder. So.
Yep. I like that. Thank you for saying that. I'm ready to try harder. I like it. I've got some of your CDs here. This is Present, which came out in 20. Oh gosh, it doesn't say, but I want to say 16.
That one came out in 2015.
2015. I went to go
Cover
see the
art,
release show.
yeah, cover
Tony
art
Nelson.
by Tony Nelson, and that
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. That is
That's your
a
daughter.
projection on me, so that was cool. And then the back picture was by my daughter Lily when she was just little. So she's very embarrassed of that picture now. She doesn't think it's anything.
Oh, I love it so
My
much.
second
There's a
year
lot
at
of
school.
songs on here that I feel like really meant things to the listeners. I mean, Lily was one that got stuck in my head all the time, and it was the same year that I had my song about my daughter, and so I just I'm a sucker for songs about our girls.
Definitely.
We also I always want to say Suit
A
of
lot of
Hearts.
people say Sweet of Hearts. It's funny. I'm like, it's
I
soup.
don't know why. It's
I
my
literally
brain cannot read. I'm seeing it. I
know
see it. This is your most recent full length. This is 2019.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, and
beautiful.
that was really inspired by going back to the UK and touring, and obviously I've been back just, as a daughter, as a friend, just seeing people, but I had never gone back and actually been booked as a musician. And I did a 6-week tour that first year that I went back as a musician, and played 2 big ukulele festivals, and had that kind of overwhelming feeling of like, I'm not worthy. And then by the end of the tour, realizing like I'm part of the ukulele scene. And it was incredible. And so that whole record is very much about going home, and also getting sober. That was a big, in 2016, I decided to stop drinking. And those songs were written kind of all throughout that. So yeah, it's a very meaningful record. And now I'm working on the next one, but it's definitely Suit of Hearts is definitely my favorite.
It's a beautiful album, and it has the song Home, which I remember like hearing
Yeah.
as a brand new baby song. And I was going to mention, oh, my brain just totally went. Oh, you said the ukulele community. You were nominated for Best International Ukulele Artist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
insane.
So both the like our little, our Minneapolis community has embraced you, but also this other music community, which is like virtual and worldwide and all the things, the ukulele community, and you've really you're a part of that as well.
So the nomination was such a surprise. I totally didn't even know I was nominated. I actually only found out because I was congratulating someone else who I knew. He was nominated as best young, up and comer or something. And I was like, yay, on Instagram. And then he said, well, congrats to you too. And I was like, well, what? So I had to do some digging to look at the website. and saw that I was nominated as Best International Ukulele Artist, which was incredible and kind of ridiculous, but just wonderful. And it was Uke magazine, which is the UK. People always laugh because it's very niche, but it's the UK's largest ukulele magazine. And you know, it's a big deal. And they had previously in 2019 they had named Suit of Hearts the best ukulele record of the year. So that was huge, and that's obviously what cinched, you know, the nomination. Which was massive. I mean, you know, I really felt welcomed by that community. And, you know, as someone who started, you know, my life as a songwriter, you know, and for the good first 15 years of that life, didn't even play an instrument. It feels really beautiful in the last 10 years to have not only picked up an instrument, but found how connective it is. And I think that's pretty unique to the ukulele. I can't think of many instruments, maybe banjo. I don't know. We should ask Ellen. But there's not many instruments that connect you as specifically to a community. And there's a huge variety of ukulele players. But, you know, for them to recognize that that's a big part of me was lovely. So I didn't win, but I was nominated. It was an honor.
That's good. I'm wondering if you would pick up your ukulele and sing us another song.
Yeah, well, I'm going to end with Suit of Hearts, just because we've talked about it so much, but also I feel that it really resonates in a different way. When I wrote it, it was very much about my own struggle with depression and sobriety, and just feeling that conscious decision to be honest and share your struggles with people. But I feel like worldwide, we've kind of been living through a mass traumatic event that has affected everybody. And we've all had to live with the choices of trying to save ourselves and save each other. So it kind of resonates with me in a different way. So I hope people enjoy it.
Well, Katy,
to sing after all this time. Oh,
that's good. You're right. It does have, listening to it with 2022 ears, it meant new
yeah,
things
it's
to me.
different. And
Yeah.
it's interesting because, I heard someone say, the more specific and personal you can be with your songwriting, the more honest you can be,
Yep.
the more it will resonate with others, which is a little hard to understand until you do it and realize that song I wrote about such a specific thing means so much to other people for completely different reasons. And it's interesting. I know you've experienced that too.
Yeah. I was just talking about that today with somebody. This is the part of the show where I ask you to play it forward. Tell me something you're listening to that's kind of getting your ears hot.
Ooh, I'm kind of obsessed with Kiss the Tiger, along with
Yes,
everything
Kiss
else.
the Tiger. Oh, that's so valid.
I
And
love
amazing.
that, grown ass woman, like
Mm-hmm.
that's my jam. Yeah, they're an incredible band, and
Yeah.
I really love
Megan's
that whole
incredible.
album. Yeah, Megan's
Mm-hmm.
amazing, and yeah, so that probably would be the main thing I'm listening
Oh,
to, as well
heck
as Taylor
yes.
Swift, but she doesn't need the mention.
She doesn't need the mention, but it's good to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, the last thing I'm going to ask you to do is give us all an action item. Action item. How do we follow you, Katy?
Yeah,
One thing to do.
something to do. Well, probably just follow me on Facebook. I know everyone hates Facebook, but I'm probably the most active on that.
Yeah.
So it's just Katy Vernon Music on Facebook. That
I've
was
linked to it below so they can do
noise,
that.
noise.
Well,
And
yeah.
one of these days I'll start doing my newsletter again, but it just feels like a drag. Also on Facebook, I know we're only supposed to mention one thing, but on Facebook also Absolutely Fab on Facebook.
Yes. I'll give you a bonus and I'll link to that as well. You get a 2. We didn't get to talk out of that, but yes. So I'm sure when you do put your newsletter out, you'll mention it on Facebook anyway. So really going to Facebook is going to get all the birds with one stone. I need to thank you so much for being here, Katy.
Thank you.
You've been in my bathroom a few times. You've been in my backyard. I'm grateful. We've shared many a stage together. Anytime, it's a huge honor. So thank you. Yes, more to come.
For sure.
I need to thank my patrons, of one of which is you.
Yeah.
These people make creation possible for Sarah Morris. It's how I can make the show. It's how I can make albums and other crazy things. And so I thank you. And if anyone wants to learn more, there's a link for that too. And I want to thank the watchers. This is the first episode of 2022. I'm so excited to bring back more people to Hey, I Miss You. It's so much fun to learn about my friends and share my friends with you nice people who show up every Friday at noon Central Time to watch Hey, I Miss You. And I hope you're doing well. I miss you and hearing your music IRL. So I am thinking that you show me a mice or two while I just sit here in my bathroom saying, hey, Katy Vernon, I miss you.